Hey moms, thank you so much for the connections, the meaningful connections that we've made so far. And again, I'd just like to reiterate that as much as we might have gone through trauma, it might have been prolonged trauma that happened over a period of time and then it stopped, or it might have been trauma that built up over time. And it doesn't matter what level it happened, we just care that it happened. And I want you to feel very comfortable, feel very welcome and very significant to this conversation that we're having here about assigning meaning to that trauma, as well as being able to find yourself again and being able to recover from that journey. So again, we have been through to the age of 40 to 60, which is about generativity or stagnation. And the issue here that Erik Erikson seeks to bring out is that that's the age when someone is actually negotiating. So I'd like you to take a moment and just think, what do you feel if you're at this stage or another stage maybe, and you feel like my head is not being able to negotiate with this fact? How did I get here? How did I let this happen? How could that person allow this to happen to me? Why did I stay when this was happening? And I remember when I was in those trauma experiences that I've talked about before, the worst was that I actually justified my reason for staying. And I'd say, no one will want me, no one will prefer me, no one will choose me. And until that breakaway happened, then I realized how valuable I had been the whole time. So as we go into this stage of late adulthood, where someone is now actually trying to make peace with who they are, who they have become, this is a stage when someone is really battling with being integrous, or rather having integrity, or just experiencing despair. And how sad that should you have hidden trauma, unprocessed trauma, vicarious trauma, all these, mother wound traumas, and you give up. My hope is that you will be able to pick yourself up, that you will be able to say, no, there is more to life than this. And so one of the indicators that you might be experiencing despair is if you have a lot of anger and bitterness, and that you feel like time is already running out. You have little time to make up for the lost. You have little effort to put in for yourself because you feel defeated. And if you are not able to negotiate at the previous age of 40 to 50, you feel like you're powerless now. And that's a lie. I'd like to highlight that that's a lie. It's just that sort of like your brain has taken so much, your heart has bled for so long, and sometimes it feels easier to just turn off that life machine. I pray that you don't turn it off, and I pray that you most of all don't consider yourself a failure. Because sometimes as a mom who is mostly seen as a channel of the home for nurturing, for, putting things sort of like in order, especially physically, I hope that you're able to catch yourself and just say, what if this was the moment that everything could turn around for me? So that you're able to regain what you've lost. And let me just remind you what you might have lost along your journey, so that you can be able to see that you can recollect yourself, that you can put yourself together and redefine yourself. Even at this age of 60, there is still life to live. And why not make your later years more beautiful as a mom and your journey more enjoyable? So if you missed trust, this is a time to begin to ask yourself, how do I build trust? First, with yourself. Remember what we talked about in the other videos, that everything begins with you. So all these moms who we read about, we hear about, we see that are experiencing or just exuding defeat, and we think it's about that moment, this thing has been with them for a while. And if you lacked autonomy, you know, you felt like there's no need to try, I don't get anything right, I'll just wait for everyone else to put something on the table and then I'll support them, then this might be the time for you to try something, one thing that you would like to do for yourself, for someone who means something to you as a mom. Well, if you missed initiative, this is the time to say, you know what, these are my thoughts on this, and this is the approach that I'm going to take where this is concerned. If you lacked or you are denied that opportunity to be industrious, why not start something even from home, from your kitchen, from your living room? Just start something that you love to do and just be with yourself in those moments and celebrate your motherhood journey. If you feel that you're having that lack of true identity, I don't know who I am defined by my children, I am defined by my spouse, I am defined by my partner, by my business, by my career, why not call yourself aside, allow yourself to sit with you and ask yourself, who are we really? Who are we? We have come so far. And as you have that conversation with yourself, I hope and pray that you will be able to find a good positive label that you can now use for yourself and say, this is who I define myself as. At this stage, if you lacked intimacy at one point of your life, or you are not able to express it, or someone abused you through that season of your life, maybe 25 to 35, just when you are learning to have meaningful, intimate relationships, this could be the time to call out that skeleton and break it up and find out what's in there. And after you break it out, you could just to throw it away and say, you know, I'm gonna be more intimate first with myself. And the way something that would look like is even your space. Do you feel that space you are in defines you? When you walk into your space, do you feel, oh, my space and I, we are in love? All right? And at that stage of midlife, 40 to 60, where there was a lot of negotiation, but maybe you were caught up in other things, and now you're realizing, my goodness, I'm at 60. What does this look like for me? What would someone at my age be able to do for themselves? Well, you just begin to gain integrity for your soul, for your motherhood soul. You begin to gain that confidence and say, you know, I want to do this right, and I'm going to do it right because I matter. I hope that these conversations have served you as you come to the end of Erik Erikson's psychosocial theory on human development, and where some traumas could have happened for different women all over the world and at different stages of our lives. I hope that you are able to identify something. And if you feel you'd like to reach out for a conversation, remember I am available here on YouTube, on my website. Please do reach out and let's just help you regain whatever you feel you have lost and watch you thrive and live in the pro version of your life. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And again, thank you so much for connecting with me.